Now let's talk about the actual form for the Wulsthaube. I'm going to take this one, and this is the small one, and I'm going to show you what the Wulsthaube looks like under the veil. So here it is. It is a very simple undercap with a hoop set into it. These hoops come in different sizes. This one is wicker. I've done a couple of different materials over the years. Wicker is the one I've had the most experience with. When I originally started looking at these, I thought these are worn by farmers' wives, merchant wives. Everybody is wearing these. Every woman is wearing these that's married. So it means that the materials they're made of must be pretty cheap. And what did everybody have access to? Well, you know, sticks you can form into circles are pretty simple to find because baskets were everywhere. So I looked at wicker. Another thing you can use is millinery wire. We do know that the English, we have several surviving headdress bits from England that were made out of wire. So probably the Germans, who made a lot of wire, probably used wire in their headdresses as well. So the shapes you want to go for are, get a round shape, and you've got more of an ovoid shape. And this is a round one, and this is more of an ovoid shape. You can see the difference between the two. So to make this, if you're using wicker, you need to soak, first you need to buy wicker. This is about 1/4 inch round reed. You need to soak it in hot water for probably 2 to 3 hours until it gets flexible enough to use. And then you form it up, and I've used linen rag or strips of linen scraps to tie it in place. And you just let it dry in a nice flat spot. Once you have this dried, what you then do is you then wrap it with cotton batting. You can also use a wool batting, but cotton batting works pretty easily, pretty well. It's super cheap. They did have cotton in Germany, so there's nothing that says you can't use cotton. So what you want to do is you want to detangle everything. And then I've got a folded strip of cotton batting. This is like the width of it. You'll probably need about 2 of these. This is like, you know, how wide is that? About 12 inches wide. And I've just sort of folded it up into a strip. And you just sort of put it through the middle, and you wrap it at an angle around, and you want to, you know, kind of overlap it, keep it nice and smooth, and wrap it. And then when you get to the end, you sort of tuck your end in a little bit like that. And you'll notice that the piece isn't actually enough to go around all the way. So typically what I'll do is I'll do one piece like 3/4 of the way, and then I'll take another piece and I'll do it the other 3/4. So so that you end up with a nice, pretty even round circle. Now, some of them, if you look at the artwork, you'll notice that the top has a very definite, like, larger bulge, and you can get that just by wrapping a shorter piece. If I was going to make a larger bulge piece for this one, I would take a thick, shorter piece and wrap it just on that top part. When you get done with it, you use twine to kind of do a cross wrap around, and that ties everything in. Once you have this, then how do you secure it into this? And the trick with these, to get this nice, you know, hoop hanging off the back of your head shape, is that and this is the whole reason why you need the head form in the first place, is that the hoop is not set straight into the back of the cap. It's actually set in at a 45-degree angle, okay? So if you were to hold the straight edge of the Unterhaube, the undercap, level, you can see that, at least I hope you can see, that the hoop is actually set in at a 45-degree angle. And what this means is that when you put it on, it's already hanging off the back of your head a little bit. And then when you tie the ties, first you tie them at the base of the neck so that everything's nice and tight. And then you bring the ties around and you tie them right where the join, right behind the back of the head where the hoop is, and you just pull them tight, and that just lifts the hoop up into position. It's less easy to see on the small one. It's very easy to see on the big ones. So I'll show you how to set a hoop and a Wulst into the Unterhaube. Oh, and I should probably show you this one little piece. My Wulsthaube Stücklein actually have 3 layers. The first layer is one that I've not found. I found very useful to getting the period look, but I haven't found actual hard documentary evidence for it yet. There are pieces in the inventories that we just don't know what they are. And there's the Umbinderlein, the underbindings, which are mentioned in the inventory. Some of them have decorated borders. We're not really sure what those are. But after wearing these, the Wulsthaube Stücklein, for a couple of years, I kept having wispy problems right here at the edges, and it would slide off very easily. And I got very frustrated because one small little bump, say on a door frame or a tent awning or the door of my car, and the whole thing would slide off. And I hated that. And I thought, how can I fix this, especially the wispy problem? And so I went looking at what modern Jewish and Muslim women do to fix the wispy problem. And what they do is they actually have a strip that binds right here at the hairline that, that holds the hair back and keeps the wispies down. And then I found the text reference to the Umbundellein, and I thought, well, who knows? Maybe that's what they did. I do know that it works. And since I've started using this very thin strip tied at the nape of the neck, I've not had wispy problems. The caps stay on, and it's a great addition. So again, it's just a simple, basic knot at the base of the hairline. You just tuck the edges, tuck the ends up into it. Kind of do another little tuck. But really, this just gets tucked up underneath the Wulsthaube. So for the Wulsthaube, again, rectangular construction. This one is, the back edge is 26.5 inches, which is 67.5 centimeters by 13.5 inches or 34.5 centimeters. The thing about this is that, yes, it is a rectangle, but the face edge, the piece that goes right here towards your face, is actually pleated in. You actually like a little knife pleat, so that you can bind it down tight at the hairline. You want this edge to be about 2 inches shorter than your hairline measurement, and it should go behind your ears. This will sew, because the fabric's going to stretch when you tie it down tight and when you put some pressure on it. So you want to make sure you've got enough stretch space when you do it. And this one is 22.5, which is 57.5 centimeters. And the little pleats on each end are 1.5 inches deep. So and that is about 4 centimeters deep. So I've just pleated that little bit, and that just allows you to tie on so that when you tie it on, you've got a little bit of space at the base of the neck so that you can stretch it. And there you can see. So this is just basically a rectangle. You pleat in the face edge and you attach 2 strings. And then to actually set in the Wulsthaube, I'm just going to tie the strings right here at the face edge just to keep them out of the way and to keep the tension tight. We don't need them right now. They would just get in the way if we tied them at the back of the head. So there you go. All right, so what you want is you want your completed Wulst, and we want to make sure that we have plenty of pins. You just want regular pins, the small edged ones. They do need to be sharp. We're going to find the base edge, kind of, basically you want to figure out which part you want on top. I'm going to pick this nice flat arc right here. This is too rounded. This is kind of an upside down. This wouldn't work well at the bottom. So kind of a nice flat bit right here. So figure out where the middle section is by this is easier to figure out before you tie it on, by the way. Just to put the 2 ends together and pinch it right there. And just put a pin in, or you can just crease the linen with your fingers. And the first thing you want to do is you just want to take the fabric and wrap it around the Wulst, and you just want enough so that you can just stick in 1 pin. And we're just going to pin that. We're just going to pin that this way. Okay, once you do that, then you're going to set in what I said in the base. So you're just going to grab down here at the base, and you're just going to roll it up inside, just so you've got enough room, again, to put in 1 pin. And hopefully you can see that. I'm just putting in 1 little pin down here. It doesn't have to go all the way through, although that's kind of what you're going for. And it certainly makes things easier. So you do that on both sides, and you kind of tuck these edges out of the way. And when you're doing this, you want to have a nice tight side right here, because that's crucial. All right, so now you've got the top, you've got the base. If you need to repin the top because it's not even, you can do that. So now that you've got things, the basics pinned, now comes the part where you, hopefully I can show you this, you can see this well. Now comes the part where you wrap in the sides. And you're just going to basically grab this part right here, and you wrap it around the back right here, tucking the extra in, and then you just pin it. And do the next side. We're working up from the base, working up the base. And then we're just going to work right here. Work up from the base to the top. We'll fix this top part. It's not exactly how I want it. You just kind of keep working around and pinning until you get a good looking bit, until everything looks good. So, oops, we'll put a pin in right here on this side so that we've got a nice view. Nice. So everything should look pretty even. This is a good opportunity to make sure, just check and see if you got things even. So now what you're going to do is you're going to take this piece off and untie this, and you're going to move it to the back so that you can test to see how it's going to look when it's tied. And this is when you find out, did I set this in properly? And you can see when I, grab this and then bring it back here and kind of the crease and tie it, that you get a nice, that it just rises up so that it's more vertical instead of, there's very definitely a crease here at the back of your head, and then you've got the nice roll. And this bow hides well here. And then for these bits right here, you can just tuck these up underneath. You can tack these down. You can cut them off. The next step is to take wax linen thread and baste where your pins are, and then pull your pins. When you need to wash the Unterhaube, when you need to wash the undercap, you just unbaste it, wash it, iron it, and then reset the Wulst in. It's very washable. And that's how you make a Wulsthaube and the undercap.